question 8. Figure 2 shows a sketch of part of the curve with equation y equal to x times x plus 2 and x minus 4. So the region R1 shown shaded in figure 2 is bounded by the curve and the negative x-axis. So part A show that the exact area of R1 is 20/3. Okay, so first we need to find the roots. X times by x plus 2 times by x minus 4 equal to 0. So the roots will be x equal to 0, x equal to negative 2, and x is equal to 4. So then, obviously, this one is negative 2, and this one is the origin 0, and then this one will be 4. And then we want to find the exact area of R1, so we need to integrate it between 0 and negative 2 for x times x plus 2 and then x minus 4 dx. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to expand the brackets for the last two. So that'll be x squared and then minus 4x plus 2x minus 8. And then simplify that, we have x times by x squared minus 2x minus 8 dx. So expand it out, 0 negative 2x cubed minus 2x squared minus 8x dx. So now we have everything we need, we just have to integrate it. So plus 1 the power divided by the power, and then plus 1 the power divided by the power, and also the last one, plus 1 the power divided by the power. So very simple integration. And then limits is 0 and negative 2. So now if we substitute in 0, then everything will become 0. And then minus, now we substitute in negative 2. So negative 2, the power 4/4, minus 2/3 times by negative 2, the power 3, and minus 4 times by negative 2 squared. So now if we put in the calculator, so negative 2 to the power 4/4, minus 2/3 times by negative 2 to the power 3, and minus 4 times by negative 2 squared. So everything inside the bracket is negative 20/3, and then negative make it positive, so it's just 20/3. That's the final answer for part A. Okay, which is exactly the same as what they want us to show. So part A is 4 marks. And then the region R2, also shown shaded in figure 2, is bounded by the curve, the positive x-axis, and the line with equation x equal to b, where b is just a positive constant, and then b is between 0 and 4. Okay, so given that the area of R1 is equal to the area of R2, and then part B, verify that B satisfies the equation b plus 2 squared times by 3b squared minus 20b plus 20 equals 0. Okay. So if area of R1 is equal to area of the R2, then that means they has to be the same. And then clearly R2 is below the x-axis. So that means if we integrate it between B and 0 for the same equation, so x times by x plus 2 and x minus 4. So then the value we get at the end should be negative 20/3. Because this part is below the x-axis. So once we do the integration, it should give us a negative value. Yeah? And then we already know once we integrate it, it's just the same thing as this. So we don't need to do the whole process again. Yeah? So we can just use the result from before. So that would be x to the power 4/4 minus 2/3x cubed minus 4x squared. And then with limits b and 0, that's equal to negative 20/3. So now if we substitute in b, we should have b to the power 4/4 minus 2/3b cubed minus 4b squared. And if we substitute in 0, just 0. So that's equal to negative 20/3. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to simplify that first. So times by the lowest common multiple of the denominators. So 4 and 3, the lowest common multiple is 12. So I'm going to times 12 for each one of them. So first one times 12, so 12/4, that'll be 3. So 3b to the power 4. And then second one, 2/3 times by 12, that'll be 8. So minus 8b cubed. And then 4 times by 12, that'll be 48. So minus 48. b squared. That's equal to 20 over 3 times by 12, which is 80. So negative 80 here. Then that would be 3b to the power 4 minus 8b cubed minus 48b squared plus 80 equal to 0. So since this is just a verified question here, so verify that b satisfies the equation b plus 2 squared times by 3b squared minus 20b plus 20 equal to 0. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to use long division to divide one of them to see if I can get the other factor. So I'm just going to divide by 3b squared minus 20b plus 20. So if I divide it, that would be 3b to the power 4 minus 8b cubed minus 48b squared. And I'm going to put plus 0b plus 80. So just in case like later on we have a b term, so we don't want b on the same line as like other constant or So if we divide by 3b squared minus 20b plus 20, so then I'm first gonna times by b squared, so that'll be 3b to the power 4 minus 20b cubed plus 20b squared. So if we minus them, this will cancel out. Negative 8 minus negative 20, that'll be plus 20, so positive 12b cubed. And negative 48 minus 20 is negative 68b squared. And then 0b plus 80. So then times by 4b, that will give us 12b cubed, and then minus 80b squared, and then plus 80b. So once we minus them, this will cancel out. Negative 68 minus negative 80 will become plus 80. So that will be 12b squared. And then 0 minus 80 is just negative 80b, and then 80 just bring down. And then now we just have to times by 4 to get 12b squared minus 80b plus 80 with no remainder. So therefore, we can see if we divide 3b squared minus 20b plus 20, we will have b squared plus 4b plus 4, and then times by 3b squared minus 20b plus 20 equal to 0. So if we factor out this, it's just b plus 2 squared times by 3b squared minus 20b plus 20 equal to 0, which is the same as this whole equation. So for another 4 marks done. All right. The roots of the equation 3b squared minus 20b plus 20 equal to 0 are 1.225 and 5.442 to 3 decimal places. And then the value of b is therefore 1.225 to 3 decimal places. So yes, here is roughly 1.225. And also the other value is 5.442. So 4 is here. So 5.442 should be roughly somewhere here. So that means that will be another like region like this. So part C, explain with the aid of the diagram the significance of the root 5.442. Yeah, so like what's R1 and R2? So the area of R1 is equal to the area of R2. So and then R1 is above and R2 is below. So it just means the area. So let me write it down. So like this 1.225 just means this area is equal to this area. Yeah. And then 5.442, that would be R2 would be all of this. So because this part is below, this part is above. So, and then this part is also above. So it just means the area above the x-axis, added up, is equal to the area below the x-axis. So that's all it means. Because, so if area of R1 is equal to area of R2, so like, if this is 20 over 3, then this is 20 over 3, but 1 positive, 1 negative. Yeah. So 1 is above, 1 is below. So the geometric meaning just means whatever above the x-axis equal to whatever below the x-axis. So it just, if 5.442 is here, so then they will count both of this and this part. So that's why you need to use the total area above is equal to the total area below. So that's why we have another 5.442. But since they just want, so for the previous question, is as B is in between 0 and 4. That's why they only accept 1.225, not 5.442. Yeah. So to write down the final answer, you just have to say the area between x equal to -2 and then x equal to 5.442, the region above the x-axis is equal to the region below the x-axis. Yeah, that's all you have to say.
Thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, you can leave some comment. And then if you find the video helpful, please like it and subscribe it. May the A star be with you.